Welcome to another Warrior's Den recap, and since I don't have any better words to say it in, I will use Eric Pope's. This week is pretty boring. There's no new events, no massive reworks, no huge patch details, but we have this guy, and he gestured towards Damien. So the bit of news you might actually want to hear: dedicated servers are live on consoles. They fixed an exploit that caused cancel animations to not play. This resulted in Kensei's top heavy never playing and its animation into a pommel strike being 100 milliseconds. So you were getting hit by a pommel strike that was extremely fast. This has been fixed. They also did similar things across the board for most cancels, this being Raider, PK, Valk, Kensei, Shigoki, and Highlander and Conqueror. So pretty much across the board we should be seeing improvements in consistency. Shinobi's quad dodge was also made much harder to do and made to consume more stamina due to the bug fix happening. The increase in stamina is not because they actually increased the cost of stamina, it's just it happened due to the bug fix. They also gave us the roadmap for the next month. This giving us some cool things like realistic Dominion. However, the chart that is currently on screen is wrong. It is not happening on the 15th. It might be happening on the 23rd. Everything else on the chart should be correct. There will be a double XP event. Dance of Death is returning for a weekend. Dominion Execution Weekend. Vanquisher Rush. So we will be getting another Faction Rush event. Tribute Vanquisher for Steel as well. So those will all be Steel events. That means we should be getting, I think, 6,000 Steel over the next 3 weeks. So that'll be exciting. And then the weekly content is battle outfits. Things that nobody actually cares about. You can still get the bundles for Apollyon's Legacy and the Celebration bundle, but they'll be going away soon. If you want to grab them before the 12th, because then you can't buy them anymore. The Celebration bundle with the Firework Mythic effect will be leaving permanently. You can't get that anymore, but you can buy the Mask effect with Apollyon on it after the event ends. It will just be slightly more expensive. The two emotes, Salt and Drinking a Beer, those will be staying permanently, but they will be 10,000 Steel each, and you cannot buy them in the bundle after the 12th. Then we have the event weapons. This was in a Q&A type thing. The event weapons may be returning in the future, but they'll never be permanent for sure. They don't know when they'll return them. They don't know how. It isn't really on the table right now, but they are looking into the possibility of bringing them back. And as a joke, they said the Knights probably won the faction rush due to the lack of the volcano. More realistically, it's because they got more executions per takedown. They had a 50% execution rate while other factions had fewer executions per takedown. So they were getting the kills, but they weren't doing the executions. And then we have the Where Is My Leg comp. It's currently being tested. There's a thing called Rift that they're doing. It stands for Rapid Iteration Fight Testing. Next week they're testing leg compensation. Key things will be tested there going forwards as well. And they're still doing all the other tests with the PTS and the community workshops. But this is an extra tool that they can do extremely fast testing on. Then we got an update on the arena mode. It is a few weeks out. It will be coming this season, so we won't be waiting more than 2 months for it, but it won't be coming until after leg compensation, same as we've known for a while now. Hopefully that means it should be coming out within like 5 weeks here. That would be great. And then we have the dedicated server test rewards. Console players have been wondering when they're going to be getting them, and the guy who's supposed to push that button has been away. He'll be back Monday, so y'all should be getting them like next week, Tuesday. For anybody on PC wondering about that, we've already gotten them. Following all of that, we have the AFK timer general changes stuff. In 4v4 modes, the timer has been decreased down to 45 seconds from 120 seconds. In 2v2 and 1v1, the timer has been decreased down to 30 seconds. This is because they're much faster game modes in the first place. And to answer the question of what if I get pizza delivered? Well, maybe just don't order pizza every single match and you'll be fine. It'll be okay for a few AFK kicks. You don't get punished for leaving matches. So if you do end up ordering pizza every single match you play, you won't get banned for that, but you will get banned if you use AFK farming to farm levels and gear, so don't do that. That's the part that gets you banned. That does, however, mean you can take a pizza break mid-match if you have to, or if your kids are bugging you. Whatever your reason for leaving the match, that's fine, as long as you actually leave the match or AFK and don't continue to play matches while not playing. There's been some server-side bugs that are getting fixed, and the best part about server-side bugs is they don't require a patch, they don't require maintenance, and they just go and happen in the background. We don't notice, we don't care, they're just fixed. And even if the server numbers are currently very good, they're still striving for better numbers. Everything can always be better, and they are striving to deliver that. And just as a note, for those of you who say, I have good Wi-Fi, no, you don't. There's no such thing. Wi-Fi will always inherently be worse than a wired connection. And if you are experiencing connection issues and you're on Wi-Fi, the first thing you should do is get rid of your Wi-Fi. I do understand it's a lot more convenient, but man, running a wire, it'll improve your day. I've actually accidentally played with Wi-Fi on, and I was wondering why things were so inconsistent and terrible, and it turns out that was why. I disabled my Wi-Fi, and it was smooth sailing from there on out. And as a bit of a note from the Q&A, they discovered a bug that the activity shown on matchmaking is not actually accurate. It's for the family of the game modes, which means for 4v4, it's Dominion, Tribute, and Team Deathmatch, which is why you'll see very high activity on Tribute and then not be able to find a match, because it's actually a medium activity or high activity and not very high. So hopefully this gets fixed, because I've been really annoyed by that, because it says high activity on Tribute and I can sit in queue for 5 minutes and not find a match. Then they did some breakdown on what the icons mean in the top left of the screen. Whenever you're having connection issues and stuff like that, high latency icon is 350 milliseconds. High latency variation is when you have 150 millisecond variation between your highest and lowest pings in the last X frames. They didn't have a value for what X is, but I'm pretty sure it's the last 90 frames. And playing with high frame rates does fuck with this. So that's why I'm thinking it's a lower number, like 90, because if you go up to 120, it's there all of the time. And to answer the commonly asked question, do NAT types still matter for PvP? The answer is no. They only matter for grouping and PvEAI right now. Grouping does not matter on consoles, it only matters on PC because it groups through Uplay. If you're playing on consoles, I don't know if grouping requires you to have proper NATs for that. I know way back in the Xbox 360 era it did, but I also haven't really used a console in the last 12 or so years, so I'm kind of out of date. But anything within For Honor with regards to PvP should not require NAT configuring at all anymore. So hopefully that covers today's news for you. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you on the battlefield.